Welcome, everybody. My name is Max Farrow. This is the Dex 5-Minute MDM system. We're on the MetaTrader 4 and the WB. If you don't know what WB stands for, you're going to find out tonight because it's kick-ass. Welcome, Mike Ficca.
Great to be here, Max.
Hey, Mike, do you have your computer running without your headset on? Is it coming through your speakers?
No.
Okay. I keep hearing myself back for some reason. But it doesn't matter. All right. Mike Ficca and I, as all of you know, have been working very hard to get the programs that you're about to see tonight into your hands, into your lives, into your succession. And it's always important for us to let you know that we're always here for your success. Now, what I mean by this is that we want your idea of success to be fulfilled. But in order for you to be able to get there, there's hard work to do. Do you agree with that, Mike?
100%, yes.
Do most of you agree in there? Anybody who doesn't have elite or senior by your name, you're probably sure that it takes a lot of work to do, right? You're going to have to get to a point. Those that have elite and senior by your name, you know it already takes hard work to get there. Maybe you've already started to push yourself to see how much hard work it does take to get there. But is it worth it? And that's the big question for you. In learning how to trade, one thing that's for sure, I keep getting feedback, Mike, and I'm really sorry, but it's coming from your side. I'm not sure why.
There's nothing. Let me see if I can. I'll lower my my microphone.
Okay, it might be coming back through your headset. This network is God, there it is again. For some reason, I keep getting it. Oh, it's weird. All right, so here's a risk disclaimer for all of you. We're going to be showing you some solutions tonight. We're going to be showing you some money that's been made. We're going to show you some people that are in there in demo. We're going to make comments in here about money, what you can do, how you can build this network. I'm going to show you the actual softwares that are involved. So in order for you to know that this is an education and trade assistance only network, as well as all results may vary, because Mike Ficca is a beast when it comes to trading. You may be a beast as well, so you might have success or even better, or you might have worse success or may not trade as much, okay? So I'm pretty sure I see that. Yeah, for some reason.
I turned down my headphone, my headset volume. Hopefully that's better.
When I talk, it's coming through your mic as well. So, or at least it was before. Okay. All right. So either way, it's all good now.
Okay.
The main statement here to follow is that it's education and trade assistance only, and all results may vary. 5-minute trades. Now, we're not really going to go down the list here of what all this is, because all of you are like nail biting, right? You know what you're here for tonight. You're here for a 5-minute system, right? We talked about this a little bit in a webinar that we did today for Dex Signals and Dex Trader, that what type of mentality are you? Are there any new people here that have not bought into? Just say the word new in the chat room here, and we will welcome you to the webinar tonight. And don't be worried. We're not going to single you out and make fun of you or do anything else. We know why you're here. You're here to make money. You're here to learn something. You're here to be a part of something bigger than just being there by yourself, right? So if that's why you're here, type in the word new if you haven't bought into the program at all yet, okay? Because we usually have these webinars where I don't want to make them all salesy and pitchy. And of course, we always have questions and answers afterwards and before the time. So if you haven't bought in yet, write the word new in the bottom and we'll move on. Bob, welcome. Nancy, welcome. Now, both Bob and Nancy are brand new to our world, so make sure that we treat them with the utmost respect, of course. And if they have questions, please do ask as you go, but I probably won't be answering too many questions until the end unless I ask a specific question throughout the webinar itself. We're joined by Mike Ficca, and Mike Ficca and I started to really try to put together a process to help those people that want to be able to trade in a shorter fashion, which we refer to as micro traders. And those micro trader mentality really comes in a 5-minute to a 1-hour session, right? If anybody's here for the Dex Signal system or Dex Trader system, don't worry. There's a lot of information. We'll be able to answer your questions after the fact. But tonight we're going to be focusing on the 5-minute micro trading and the 5-minute MDM and the MetaTrader 4 side, and the working order, and the WB, which is the web-based network. Now, why is this such a pivotal night tonight? It's because it's the first webinar we're doing after the release, the soft release of the program over Friday, all day Friday, and then on Sunday and into today. In learning how to trade, you get a little bit of tension about you when you're first starting to learn the system, because one, you're unsure if the damn thing's going to work, right? You're all probably asking yourself that. You know, some of you that have elite and senior by your name, you know it works and works for you. If you're still learning how to do some of the things to get to your ROI or get to the bigger numbers, don't worry, that time will come. But it's learning how to settle into the discipline of trading. One thing that Mike and I have learned when we started doing this was that anything can happen at any level of trader, right? You may have a great day at the same time Jonathan might be having a bad day. Every single trader is different. Every single mentality is just slightly different than the other. Can we put you in a bigger group? Yeah, absolutely. If you're trading 5 minutes and you like them, you're really considered a micro trader. This is somebody who, this is even beyond the facet of day trading, right? You're in 5-minute trades, right? Your world begins and ends with the 1 minute chart, you know, getting in and getting out within a 5-minute period. If you're still even around the 1 hours, yeah, you could still be at that point, but you can even probably be looking at 20-minute trades at this point that you see on Nadex as well. And that's the other thing. Most of all of us have the same process that we're all using Nadex as the process. Okay, I mean, if you're trading this on Forex, you're doing a different average, you're doing a different process, but this is designed. The MDM system is designed for the Nadex product of the 5-minute binary that's on that site. Now, a real quick history of how we came up with the 5-minute MDM is almost like Reese's peanut butter cups, basically, right? Came up with a process to trade ATM at the monies for a 1-hour program, which, by the way, folks, we haven't finished developing out yet. You realize that the ATM, there is an ATM system for 1 hour, but I haven't finished what I needed to do for the 5-minute MDMs, so we're working on that first. Okay, so when we built the ATM system for the 1 hour, I had all the tools ready, right? All the tools were there. And what I wanted to do is that I wanted to give all these tools to an individual to say, go trade with these and learn how to trade them, and that was Mike Ficca, right? And when I gave him the Mike Ficca, he went and he traded them, right? And he got in his first day, and he did his trades, and he got a bunch of trades on, and he lost a couple, and got his trades on. He was doing the hash mark process with me, learning what to do. Then on one day, something happened. There was news. And Mike hates news. And Mike is impatient, wants to trade. So what did Mike do? Mike went over and did 5-minute trades using the same tools that I gave him for the 1 hour and applied it to the 1-minute chart for a 5-minute trade. And then bada bing, bada boom. Let me see. Blame it on Mike Ficca. Blame MikeFicca.com became a reality. That's right. If you want to blame anybody for your success or your failure, please go to blamemikeficca.com and you will be able to get satisfaction there. I'm serious. It's actually a real website if you want to learn. and I'll actually give you 2 things later on here because we have a new system and I want to make sure that he gets proper blame for it. Okay? So in this concept that what happened is that he found that they worked on 5 minutes, but there were some flaws that needed to be worked out. And Mike and I have been working on these flaws. Now, when I say flaws, I don't mean like, you know, like it doesn't work. There is a mentality behind trading, okay? That we found out that, one, we have to create the rules that work, okay? But not specific rules that it's going to be a one-size-fits-all. We had to work on a macro set of rules that will work for people and a set of contingency plans as you build a trading system. Because what is a trading system? It's the rules, it's the discipline, it's the risk management, right? It's tracking. There's my dog, right? You got to have the tracking. Do you know, does anybody in the room know why you have to have tracking with this besides the obvious reasons? Does anybody know? Spout out anything you feel why we need tracking, why we keep journals. Some can say one word, and some can say another. You learn from your past trades. Percentage, Sean says percentage, that's good, right? Sibber, you need to improve. Great, Joseph Duncan, sorry. You need to improve. But it really comes down to one word. Data, right? Jim Frickson, I beat you. I beat you. No Cupid doll for you because I got in there before you. Nice try. Type faster. But listen, it really does come down to the data. And that's one thing we've learned is to be able to follow the data. But the data started to show me something. That Mike Ficca, Joseph D, Jonathan D, Jack Daniels, no, sorry. Okay, Rob C, all of you trade differently. You can all be trading the same session and come out with different results. We found that most individuals learned how to trade within the comfort zones and where they went, how they would gravitate to certain prices, how they would gravitate towards being able to trade a program that gave you all an arrow. But they left the arrow to speculation on what price to be able to get into. And they allowed you to choose that price at certain times during a time frame. And when we did this, we started to notice a quick trend. That the individual trading, the more disciplined and direct they were at ATM, they could have a higher loss rate and still make money. And we call this higher loss rate the drawdown, right? And why is this so good? I'm sorry, my spelling's atrocious tonight. Why is this so important? It's because once you satisfy the amount of trades, right? Because remember, trading in demo, you learn how to use the system, you learn how to perfect it first, and trading and live are no freaking difference, except by mentality. That's why you're working on your mentality here, right? These are the same, except for your mentality is what's going to affect it. Okay, because we've proven that Natex's system now is exactly the same on demo and live. And I've been hard testing more and more and more numbers on that. And I've been finding other independent data that says and states the same thing, which we'll be providing here soon as well. Learning this system takes time, 200 to 300 trades, right? Learning the system to this point is somebody like Jonathan, who's became senior, or Joseph Duncan, who's just getting to that point, to getting up close to this point. But Jonathan, you've surpassed this. You begins to get a feel. Mike, you've blown this away by 4 or 5 times. Okay, I'm up to over 10,000 trades. The point is that you begins to feel and see certain things that happen using some of the secondary indicators that we have, support and resistance, the Dex MACD. There's certain things you begin to use and see. You begin to get an alternate feel of what we refer to as price action. And price action is very important because it is the cleanest model of indication of market movement. It is like the breath of a human being. And that's what it gets associated with, is that it is like breathing. You see the way the market breathes in and out at certain times. And you begin to see it almost instinctively. You get a feel for the way the trend flows. You get a feel for the way that the trend or certain movements will bounce off of certain support areas and restrict off of and rebounce off of certain resistance areas. You'll begin to feel the coalition between the 5-minute series and a 1-minute process on which statement is better for you, at what level it's coming from, and where at. You begin to see this. I can only tell you about it, but you have to do something that nobody else is going to be able to tell you about, and you have to get the experience behind it. If you don't earn the experience, nothing else will matter. Are you tired of waiting for people to give you the answers? You have to follow a program that's going to teach you, but show you how to learn it. Not just give you the answer. What will that do you? And if you want the answers, just go over to Dex Signals. Follow some programs over there. You want even more simplicity, go to Dex Trader. That's even more simplistic. Has a lot more stuff to offer, and it's more expensive. When you can learn everything you need to learn in Dex Indicators and Dex Signals. And with the MDM program, with the 5-minute system, you're going to learn it fast, aren't you? Mike, doing 200 trades at 5 minutes, how long does it take you to do 100 trades about?
I mean, I could do it in a day, you know.
You could probably do it in a day. 100, real close to 80, right? If you got there at 8 o'clock and finished out at 11 o'clock at night, yeah, right?
Yep.
How much experience is that, folks? That's a lot of experience. If you were learning how to trade with 1 hour trades, it'd be 100 hours.
Been there.
Right. Well, Mike's been there. So have I. So you're able to get this experience. So kind of know a history. We took this program. We applied a strategy. So what is the system itself? Well, the MDM system is now a signal base. Now, I don't mean a signal like you're going to go to the website and see it's going to ping for a website. Well, basically, no, it is now. Hang on a second. What else is this? Okay, so we started with MT4, right? MetaTrader 4. And we developed an indicator. The first indicator was to give you an arrow when certain things happened, what we call events, right? And these events happened, and the arrow would appear in a direction. And then we applied a support and resistance system and a Dex MACD to be able to show you and give you secondary confirmations of direction, volume, intensity, trend, right? And that system, see if I can bring it up real quick. There it is. Yay for me. Looks like this. You guys see my screen, Mike?
Yeah, very small though.
Okay, hang on a second. Get into the system here. Huh. Guess what?
Still very small. There we go.
Here. You see
There
it
you
now?
go. Much better. Yep.
Okay. So this is the program. Okay. It's devised by Go to Indicator List. Here's Dex Resistance, the MDM program. I have the no license version, some special. And Dex MACD. Things we have on here. Okay. And we teach you how to read each one of these processes. They're all very easy. It's not like they're overly complicated, right? There's a lot of lines there, right? Squish down, you see all the lines from the support and resistance. But because we're on a 1 minute chart, it's kind of crazy looking. We tell you which ones to get into, which ones become false signals, which ones are better investments than others. We tell you a lot of stuff. We teach you how to use this program, and then we show you get in there and start doing it. We teach you how to set it up. Right? It's not the easiest thing to learn, is it, Mike? It's using MetaTrader 4.
No, it wasn't.
It's not the easiest. Mike's not the
Tech savvy.
yeah, Mike's not as tech savvy as most people, right? But do you really have to be? But he learned, and he found it. Okay, and so what ended up happening is that we took this program, the MetaTrader 4, right? And we said, how do I get this? Because we have Dex data charts. We have a chart system, right? And Dex data charts, right, was focusing on providing our own data for our own charting system. And most of our sites, if you've seen them, have a chart system on them. Okay, hang on a second. This is embarrassing. Here it is. Okay. Okay? And we did this. Sorry if you can hear that tone. I do apologize. Just 1 second. It's one of our signals releasing here on Dextrator. But in this particular chart system, we use our friends over at TradingView. But we also have now, let me get to it. Oh, let me go back right here. La, 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 bum, bum. Okay. You ready, folks? My computer's acting very slow. I'm sorry. Ta frickin' ta-da. Now, this comes from a lot of hard work. This comes from talking to traders, talking to Mike, talking to many other people about what is needed in a system, in the program, right? Things that we needed to have in front of us. Now, this is a charting platform that we've created. It doesn't come from anybody else. It's something that we control the data that goes into it, okay? Comes from a private source, and that private source is guarded, so nobody can affect it, like FXCM or NADA or NADEX or anybody else, because we know that sources can be corrupted. So that's my dog snoring in the background. I don't know if you can hear. Big old bulldog. She's very snory. Even she probably snores when she's awake too. But the concept here is that we had to take this program and turn it into this program. And why was that? Because we knew that there's going to be some people that just aren't chart savvy on MetaTrader, aren't software savvy. So we put together this program that will give us our arrow and will give us some of the other features. Now, is it exactly the same as this? Will you get the same exact arrows? And sometimes you will, and sometimes you won't. And I'm going to explain this on a very simplistic level because I don't want to get too far down the rabbit hole, right? So watch this, right? The MetaTrader 4 system has several things involved in it, right? It has 3 major indicators that are involved, not including, we're not talking about the SR and the MACD that we use there for confirmation. That's something different. But the recipe of this is that it uses 3 indicators: time and emergence, right? Time emergence. And this is a time emergence system is basically, as time goes on, if it reaches a certain level by a certain time, it's going to be considered a buy. If it's the opposite, right? If it's coming down by a certain time, by a certain level, it's going to be considered a sell, right? That's what basically time emergence is. So it uses the fundamentals of 3 indicators that it says basically if all 3 indicators indicate that it's going to be a buy, with the last confirmation of time emergence, then it's sent out as a buy and that arrow goes up, right? If all 3 say it's going to be a sell, and then the time emergence hits and it's still a sell, it'll put an arrow for a sell. That's basically how the MetaTrader 4 system works. Okay. The web-based program, sorry to say, web-based uses 2. And the time emergence. Right? The only reason why we couldn't get the other systems on board for the web is because it's extremely difficult to make a web-based indicator. Extremely difficult. Now, I don't know, some of you, if some of you are rocket science and you know how to do it, then you win the game. And there might be other companies out there that might have a team of programmers and all that stuff. Great for you. They win the race. But in our case, it was very difficult for us to get this to this point. But we were getting much the same results within, I'd say, a 5 to 10% difference of arrows coming up for one that on a not another. So it was very important for us to create almost 2 different strategies, basically, one for the MetaTrader 4 and one for the web-based program. Rob C, that's a great question. Rob C asks, which one is more accurate, do you think? It would only be my speculation which one would be more accurate, because in the beginning of the webinar, I told you that every single trader is different, right? So you would have to simply ask that question to every single trader that came over. Learning how to trade with the MetaTrader 4 is only trading in a different format and a different tool than the web-based. It's all a matter of your timing, right? So Rob, you might be kicking ass here, come over and use this one and be like, what do I do? And it could be a lack of experience, a lack of enthusiasm, whatever, right? You might be losing your ass over here, but Nancy might come in and start trading here and might be not doing so well, but come over here because maybe she's not, super confident with MetaTrader 4, but she's really confident with watching how the arrows come out and knowing what to do next, which I'm going to show you some little tricks with the system tonight so you can see it. Okay? And so she might be winning over here. And this will show itself with some very important tracking. Now, I asked in the beginning, why does tracking have anything to do with it? Because we can actually go down and see where people are being successful and help engage you as an individual. Because what may work for Anthony may not work for JM or Levon, but works for Jonathan. And we have to sort of kind of change it around. Do you see that too, Mike? Do you see that
Yes.
Each person has their own different way of trading? You got to sort of change the way you consult with them?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll give you one example real quick, and I'm sure he won't mind me. Oh my God, I forgot his name. I'm not tired, guys. I'm sorry. 1 second. James is the most conservative person I know. So
Right.
He'll trade. He'll be at a strike price below my strike price all the time.
Right.
Or Joe D, excuse me. Joe D
Jody.
will be below my strike price most of the time, and it works for him. He's very successful. So he's kind of teaching me a little bit. When the time is right and we're going live and it's our money on the line, that's an approach I might follow.
Right.
But each person is different. There might be a more aggressive person than me. Going higher than the middle one.
Right.
It's up to you the way you want to trade. I can only give you guidelines.
Right. The guidelines are what we originally invented with the program.
Correct.
And then each individual applies their own availability of timing, of getting the proper price, who puts a working order and for how much. There's a lot of different variables on board. But what we teach you is how to recognize what variables are working for you and against you. And we can kind of see the trading habits at that point, right? So,
I'll give you an example.
So
Max said to me today, I overtrade. Well, I overtraded because I wanted to give him data. Now he doesn't need the data, but I'm still trading at that pace. So I'm going to start cutting back my trading,
right.
and doing quality instead of quantity.
Mm-hmm. And I can understand that, Nancy. You know what? Trading on 5-minute series may not be down your alley. It just may not be, and that's completely okay. We're not here to force fit a whole bunch of people in this thing by giving you a bunch of information to make it sound really great. It is tough. And some people aren't just cut out for it. It's no harm, no foul here. If it's something that you spend a couple minutes with us to find out it's not something that works for you, there's no forcible entry here. We're not trying to force a whole bunch of people into the process. In fact, we're trying to vet individuals to let you know, we're very transparent to let you know that there is some complication to it. But MetaTrader 4 is complicated with the downloading of the software and getting it all to work. Following a procedure isn't. And if this is too complicated, this is one of the most easiest systems that are out there, unless you're going to go follow signals. If you want to follow signals, there's still work to be done. There's still validation of the things that you can do. If you're looking for just a push button, there's hardly any companies out there that I know of that have a push button system that can be considered reputable. So please be very careful on what you're looking for. Maybe trading isn't the line for you at that point. Okay. Now, what I can tell you is that the Dex 5-minute web system, I don't know if you guys heard that little chime that just happened, but that's the chime that goes off when one of the systems
pinball
goes
machine.
off here. The pinball machine, right, as we call it. Oh, okay. It was because I went back in. Once you go back in, it tells you that you missed a trade or the trade once I open up the website again. But basically, what I do is that I look for when that pinball machine sound goes off, right? I look for which one is the arrow, and I'm looking for consistency, right? I'm looking for some sort of a good pattern to look at here, right? So if I was going to be, oh, there's one right there, right? So let's just say that this is the Euro USD right here. Oh, hang on 1 second. I have a lot of stuff happening on my computer all at once. I'm going to go to the Euro USD. I'm going to see that one particularly there, right? Now, what I'm going to do is that I'm not going to go at the money with this process. What I'm doing, because I'm a conservative trader, I'm going to look for a trade either at the previous arrow high, right? Or the high from the previous little hill there, right? The other support level. And I show you how inside. I will show you inside on this on WB chart on how to read that. That's really important to know how to read, right? So we're going to look at this one 0584 as being. So I'm looking over here to the right. We're going to 0584. I'm going to go to Nadex. Now I'm a little bit behind the series, right? I'm almost a minute into the trade right now. Grab the Euro 0584. There's 0585. I missed it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in. I'm going to do a working order. And I'm going to place it just like that. Okay.
Got a white screen.
The reason why what's that?
You can't see what you did. Screen's white.
Okay, hang on a second. And then we're having a problem with that.
Okay.
Can you see the screen now?
Yep, you can now.
So basically what I came over and did is I grabbed the 008 or 0585. Okay. You didn't see the screen on the Dex Trader?
Yeah, saw it in the very beginning, and then you went over and you got to went to whiteboard.
All right. So I basically grabbed at this height 0584.
Yep.
Went to Nadex, grabbed 0585, one pip up even further. I put a working order on it. Now, if I was an aggressive trader, I could have came in at the 0583 and been playing that margin. There are two types of trading happening at this level, right? There is one, which is, boy, my dog's really going to town tonight, which is and I know there's probably news being released, right? So go figure. I'm breaking a rule that I didn't go look at news. But if I did that every session, I never trade while we're doing this. But there's two types of trading happening here, right? There's price trading, right? And this is also referred to as level trading because you're going to trade at a particular level, right? And then there's ATM. And ATM at the money trading is that you get the signal from the direction and you go for it, right? Like if I would have came in, and grabbed 0583. You see, now look at this, by the way. 0585, grabbed the money, grabbed it for 30 bucks. They picked it up, right? Hang on 1 second, let me get over there. It picked it up. Do you guys see the screen now?
Look at that. Now you want white again, Max. Still white.
Hang on. How about that?
There you go. Yeah, perfect.
Okay. So 0583 got picked up. Or 0585, I mean, got picked up.
That's Joe Duncan's new strategy.
Right. So now you see it working right now. You see it happening. Could it still fail? Absolutely. This isn't just one trade, right? You have to learn how to go through the masses, learn, burn the time, get the candle done, burn through that candle, do another one, right? And this is the process that happens. Now, some of you can go and look at the chart and see a different trade there. Some of you can go and look at the chart and say, oh, I could have pushed it down to 0583 and been okay, right? But you would have lost. Well, maybe if it stays over that point, it might still drop down from this point. Okay? But there is a conservative side, which is me, and there might be an aggressive side, like Mike when it went ATM. Now it's below the 3 point again, or now it's above it again. So it's a win-loss. But this is 5-minute trades. There's no justification on one person's way to trade this beyond the rules, right? So you have the rules, and then you have some variants of the rules for yourself on when to trade and when to trade ATM and not trade ATM. But you get that by feeling. Like if you would have won at 8-3, you would have lost. Oh, I don't know if you would have lost. No, I don't know if you would have lost because it ended at 3-0.
Yeah, and that would have been a win if that was the case.
If it ended at 3-0, that would have been a win.
Mm-hmm.
And I can check what it ended at here in just a moment. And she says it's a win. Yeah, if it was an 8-3, it's a win. If it was an 8-5, won, and won with no problem. Okay.
You were in that trade, she?
So trading at a price level, right? But it uses, you're not just going to Nadex and saying, all right, well, I'm not going to go ATM, I'm going to come one down. That's not what I've done. I use the process of using the information. Oops, sorry. Oh, God, I'm all over the place. I use the information on the chart itself to look at the previous little lump of high, right? Which is what we call close-knit intraday high, right? For this little period of time. You don't want to go back too far, right? You don't want to go back all the way here. You're never going to go trade. But the closest high to this trade that's happening right now, okay? Because you're going in a sell direction in the opposite direction, right? So I didn't have any good information here. Didn't have any here. I could have went at the tip. If I would have went at the tip, I would have gotten the 0583 from the previous arrow. So I went to the one at 0584. And so went back one even more to 0585, and I won the trade. This doesn't mean it's going to happen every single time. Okay? But what it does mean is that I have a process. I went 9-1 yesterday. I went like 7-1 or 7-0 the night before, and I'll be supplying some of my own data. Now, one thing about me is I am a data hound, but I don't like trading 5 minutes.
I know you.
I didn't say I wasn't good at them. I just don't have the mentality. I have the mentality that I can do good at them because I love my money, but I also have so many other things going on. I don't take a lot of time to sit down. Oh, I can't do what Mike does. Mike is a monster when it comes to getting in and trading. Now, even Chastine's a little bit today, maybe he's trading too much. Maybe there's too many times we're touching the market. To be more selective, if you will. Mm-hmm. That if there isn't a trade there, don't just drop down one. You know, there's a reason why that ATM is not available, and there's nothing really good at one below. So you're just going after the one below for no reason. You're not actually going after a level, and that's where price level has to take suit. You know, if you get to the website and you have an arrow, and you go to Nadex, and you're going right for the ATM, but you're like, it's nothing there, so let me go with the next one down, and let me see if I can force fit a trade. That's not trading. That's not following the rule. That's following a little bit of greed in there to get into a trade. But listen, we all fall victim to it. It all comes back to one thing: experience. I said in the webinar today for the Dex folks that learning how to spot those things is one of the most important successes for you, is to learn how to spot when that gets triggered and learn how to correct it. And that's one of the most important things for you to learn. And that's why we're here, to help you learn those processes. Okay. All right. At this point, that's basically the system in a nutshell. On, we have the MetaTrader 4 series over at Dex Indicators, and we have the web-based program over at Dex Trader. Now, before this gets too convoluted, you all have to know one thing's for sure. We want to be able to help you be successful. Okay. So if you're unsure where to end up, where to go, what to do next, simply ask one of us. Simply go to the website in the chat room and ask. It's okay. The support network that's on board with Amy and Brian and now Paul is very, very powerful. There's a lot of people here rooting for your success. There's 44 people in this room right now. At any one given moment, on the website, there's somebody in there in one of the chat rooms. You see? And there's only a handful in this one because it's I guess there's news happening and everybody splits and takes on the thing, but for the most part, there's always somebody around to help. There's always somebody around to drive you into a direction, to help you with a process, to help figure stuff out. If you see elite or senior by somebody's name, it's very important for you to know that they're not there for your beck and call, but they are there to help you figure stuff out as well. I don't want you asking them a million questions. If you have any problems, I want you to go to the website. You can go to the lower right-hand corner. If it says online, that means somebody there is there to help you, and they can answer questions for you. If you can't get your question answered there, then schedule a time to consult with one of us. Go to your membership portal, hit on Book a Consult, and spend some time with us. It's free. Literally, we're here to help you at every particular point. And there's hundreds of videos to watch. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there. We're here for your success. So hopefully you take us up on the process. Now, for all of you that are here that just came here tonight to see the web-based program, congratulations. This thing is awesome. Now, how are we going to combat this? How are we going to work this program in? Dex indicators. If you're already a Dex indicator member, okay, and you've already paid for the system, for Dex indicators for the MDM system, right, and you want the web-based instead, maybe the MetaTrader 4 is just not working out for you. Whatever you're paying right now for the MetaTrader system, you're going to be able to keep that same payment, and we're just going to move you over to DexTrader WB, okay? So you get DexTrader WB, all right? Now, we'll have to play Amy's going to have to play some magic for you. So contact Amy and get yourself moved over. It's the same kind of process. I'll have all the learning videos in there by said time, same time tomorrow night. I'll have all the training videos, same sort of program with the arrows coming out that you're going to do a little bit of what you learned tonight. I will have all the rest of the videos in there tomorrow in that training system.
Wow.
Now, if you're not a Dex Indicators member yet, okay, maybe you're a Dex Signals member, or maybe even you're a Dex Trader member, your price is only going to be $97 a month. Okay? You will only pay $97 a month if you're any other member anywhere else, but you have to keep an active membership in Dex Trader or Dex Signals. If you cancel your Dex Signals or Dex Trader, we then have to kind of cancel this process and you have to pay full price. Okay? Now, if you're not a member at all and you're here for the first time and you go and you want to have the web-based chart system, okay, because it's right on your computer, you don't have to worry about downloading any software, right? Or the Dex Indicator MDM system, either one, your first payment is $97 and then it's $297 a month. I know. You might think that's the hell of a lot of money for a signal network or what have you. I can probably get the same thing for $5, you know, whatever. Whatever you can get it for, wherever you can go to, don't worry. This price here, you get to this first month of training. If you don't get through your first month of training and learning how to do the trades, then don't get in yet. I'm telling you right now, if you don't feel you can put the time in to learn the process within the month, then don't get in yet. Wait until you can make the time. I'm serious. You ever hear a company talk to you like that? I'm dead serious. We only want people in here who are willing to work it. We can't have people in here who buy the system and 3 weeks later are like, I need to make my money so I can make my $297. You're trying to meet some weird, crazy ROI fixation. And let me tell you right now, even if you don't and you get to this point, it is well worth it because you get free consults, be able to talk with us, the chat room. By the way, if you buy it on Dex Indicators or Dex Trader, you get the entire site. Okay, so it's not just the MDM anymore. So when you buy the MDM, you actually get the entire site, so all the Dex indicators. And when you get the Dex Trader WB version, you get the entire Dex Trader system as well. That's all the signals, that's all the training, that's everything that's in there, right? All for this price. Pretty cool, right? So if you're a brand new member, if you haven't bought in yet, and you buy either one of them, your first payment is going to be $97, and then after that's $297. Is this worth it? Is this $297 worth it when you're making money, when you're learning how to do the things like these individuals are in here. When people are in there learning how to trade, learning the solutions that are in front of them. There's Joseph D. Okay. Demo is exactly the same as live, but you're demoing your live, so it doesn't really matter if they're live or demo. If you're in there learning the processes, right? And I know there's not everybody's doing perfect, you know. I'm trying to find one that's not doing absolutely just like smack dab great.
Anthony C.
Anthony C. You just told on him. Where's he at?
He's doing better though.
Oh, yeah, he's doing better. I said positive ROI there, so
that was today. Yesterday, today. Good for him.
Okay, so I'm not saying I'm Tim H. What am I thinking? Tim H. Look at that. Look at that. That's crazy. WR, Ed D. Who was it the other day? It was Ed Davis, wasn't it? Ed D. He was in the hole okay, there it is. There. He was in the hole the other day. This is the new one. Holy crap!
Good for him.
Big comeback.
That must have been a great consult there.
Could have been. I heard they're kind of hokey.
Yeah, they're a little bit.
Mike's doing wonderful with that, by the way. I hate to go down the entire list, but even if I do go down the entire list, 286. I'm trying to find one. I'm sorry. Huh? Oh. Yeah.
Show your friend Vivian. We're keeping track of her.
88%. She's very, 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 very conservative individual.
Wow.
Right? Loves to trade the 5 minutes. Very good at them. She's good on them, learning with the double stochastic that I was teaching back in Trader's Mind. She's been with me forever. She is a trusted soul, and I will do anything for her. Awesome, awesome woman, and works very hard at what she does. Okay, so I can't find one in there. If you can find one later on, Mike, and let me know before it ends, then we can go back and show. I want to show you transparency, but you guys are just killing it. I mean, cheese at 41-4. Holy crap. And this is right out of the gate. Now, does it take a little bit of shift of mentality to go full live? Absolutely. We learned that. But once you get the pace of it, you're back into it. Sorry. So we have an idea of, where's James? I haven't put it on yet.
He hasn't put it on yet. We worked on it, James. I'm working on him. He's busy. He's busy.
Let me see if I can. Did you send it to me already, Mike?
I did. I shared it.
Let me see if I can find it. James T right there.
Very proud of James.
You sent it to me today, right?
Yes. Should be in the drive. While Max is looking at that, I know at least 15 people are very excited with what Max just did. He told me he was going to do this tonight. I didn't know anything about that. I look at that now, and I might change the way I trade with the WB, because that was a beautiful trade, and it was totally unrehearsed because you can't do live. You know, lives never really go your way when you want them to trade, and he just put a working order on, and it picked it up, and it won easily. Not to say it all is going to happen that way, but that's a new way to trade. I know Joe's going to probably try that. Jonathan's probably going to try that. Jim Frickson probably will try that, and a bunch of other people in that room are going to try that. That's fantastic.
Well, keep in mind too. Is it James C? Okay, there we go. I found it. Keep in mind too that
you're right, Amy. I messed up. I'm sorry. I got to keep adding that, Max.
Yeah, you got to add it to the master sheet.
Yeah, and I'm not doing it. No.
I checked the master sheet, but that's all right. So let me see if I can find it again. Okay, there it is. All right.
Yep.
Here it is. See it? So here's James T. Okay. Little rocky start, right? Learning the process. But Mike, you had his console. You went through the network. Okay. I can already see some things that are pretty close, right? A sell for $51.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is an OTM trade. Okay. So I can automatically see there's 4 losses in a row. You're getting them for $55 on a settlement payout, so that's 45. So you might be a little bit high on the OTM. You're trying too hard on the ATM pricing. Might be too far in. You know, too many trade losses. There's a scalp in there. There's a few extra things in there. So, and it's not about beating you up over it. It's about being able to take the criticism, take the information, and use it for yourself, right? I mean, there's a reason why if you're doing minus $1,200 in there, there's something big that's happening, right? If it's just a couple hundred, then there's something small that's happening. If you're in a positive but low, there's only small adjustments you have to make. But we know what it is, and we know how to combat that. We know how to dial in the recipe, if you will. Okay? So take that advantage. If you are going to get in, I don't want people flip-flopping back and forth to each. So if you're absolutely sure you don't want to ever use MetaTrader again, you know, unless you want to pay for going back and forth from that process, you have to make sure, okay? I typed it wrong before. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Oh, jeez.
All right, I just wanted to make sure. Blame it on MikeFicken.com. Yeah.
Yay. Please do, guys.
Now that'll take you to DEX indicators. If you want to go to the DEX trader side, you want to get the WB. Here's what you do. I'm going to go to Getting Started and go to MD Getting Started, right? It's going to bring you to this page. Amy didn't think I had this ready, but I do. Banana, banana. There it is. Okay, that's for the 5-minute MDM WB to get started. Okay, if you have not bought in yet, if you have bought in and you want your $97 deal, you got to reach out to Amy, right? If you want them both, go get them both and test them out. But you're going to have to pay for both of them until you let one cancel out or the other one. Okay, and I'm sorry. I want to be able to switch you all over and do all that stuff, but let's keep it real. This is a business that we're trying to run. It takes manpower to run all this stuff, security networks, everything that we got going on. One of my companies that we have is a server company, and the owner of the server company itself, the big company that rents us the servers, right? These big security servers. He writes me, he goes, and this was today. He goes, Max, I know you're doing well. I was like, how do you know I'm doing well? And he goes, by the attempts of hacks to your site. I said, you got to be kidding me. Is it up? He goes, it's probably the highest I've ever seen. And I said, what do you think the reasoning is? He goes, because people that aren't successful hate successful people, hate successful networks. And so you're getting a lot of people trying to slow down your site. So they have to partition a lot of extra power for us. But that's why we spend a tremendous amount of money every month. That's why we work very hard at what we do. To protect the data, to protect the information. Now, the cool thing is that all of your information on the website is absolutely secure because it doesn't sit on our website. If you got payment information, if you have credit card information, all that's on Stripe or PayPal. It has nothing to do with us. Let them go after those multi-billion-dollar companies. The only thing they can ever get from you is your email address. And I'm sorry to say, there's no system in the world that's 100% protected. But the reason I'm telling you this story is because there's a lot of work that goes into this network. Everybody that has seen your elite by your name, you've worked very hard to be here, and I can't thank you enough. For everybody that's here for your first time, I hope you take a chance to buy into our company and to what we do. Everything that we do, we always put back into the company to build more process. Sorry, I'm just skipping through a lot of this stuff here. Okay. But if you haven't bought in and you want to buy in, reach out to one of us or go and buy in and get started, get your process happening today. We're here for you. For those of you that are watching this after the fact, I want to thank you also for being and taking to the time to get through this video to be here. Mike, I want to thank you too for being here tonight. As usual, you're always my rock steady. And also thank you for doing the consults for this week so I can build all this. Hey, listen, guys, if it wasn't for Mike, not only we wouldn't have built the 5-minute MDM system, but I wouldn't have been able to build it to this point because he's taken over a lot of the workload. So that's why he's partner. Thanks, Mike.
I appreciate it, and then thanks for the aha moment tonight. you were absolutely right with the with WB, man. Woof. I'm excited.
It works. So am I.
Yep.
Okay, so keep your nose to the grindstone, keep everything working. If you got any problems whatsoever, reach out to us. We're here for you. Did I miss any questions? We'll answer. We have an after effect happening here. We're gonna kill the recording, but yet we're gonna have some questions and answers. Everybody that's watching this, thank you so much. I'm Max. This is Dex, and as always, trade well.